Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're undertaking a mission that I think is critical for every single person with a pet. We're going to move beyond just, a list of toxic items. We want to understand how these everyday things become so dangerous.
And it's so necessary. I mean, the scale of this problem it's huge. The latest ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center report from 2024 showed they handled over 451,000 cases.
Wow.
That's a jump of nearly 4% in just 1 year.
That number really grounds you, doesn't it? It shows that the biggest risk factor isn't something exotic. It's us. It's our own home.
It's our environment, exactly. And the top threats, they're not changing. Over-the-counter medications are still number one, making up about 16.5% of all calls. And right behind that, human food and drinks at just over 16%.
So knowing the why, the actual mechanism of how these things work, that's what turns panic into, effective action.
That's the goal. And we also have to keep an eye on sort of the emerging risks. The data is reflecting societal shifts. We're seeing a really worrying rise in calls about hallucinogenic mushrooms.
Psilocybin or things like that?
Exactly. So our mission today is to arm you with the science behind why these things are toxic so you can spot the signs and know just how urgent the situation is.
All right, let's start at the very top of that list. Human medications. The core issue is often called this human-animal mismatch. So why is a pill that helps my headache potentially devastating for my dog, or especially my cat?
It all comes down to the liver. Our bodies, specifically our livers, have these very specialized enzyme pathways to break down drugs. One of the big ones is called glucuronidation. It's like a chemical assembly line that makes compounds safe to excrete. But pets, and cats in particular, well, they're missing some key machinery on that assembly line.
So the drug just keeps circulating, it doesn't get shut off.
That's exactly it. It stays active and toxic for much, much longer. A perfect example is NSAIDs, so your non-steroidal anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen or naproxen.
Right, something we take all the time. So a dog gets into a bottle of ibuprofen that's fallen on the floor. What's happening inside its body?
Okay, so NSAIDs work by blocking enzymes called KOX enzymes. This reduces inflammation and pain, which is great. But those same enzymes also produce something called prostaglandins.
And prostaglandins are the good guys here.
They're absolutely essential. They do two things. First, they maintain the protective mucus barrier that lines the stomach. When you take that away, stomach acid just starts to eat away at the stomach wall itself.
Which leads to ulcers, bleeding?
Severe, potentially fatal bleeding, yes. And that's just the first hit.
Yeah.
The second consequence is in the kidneys.
Okay.
Those same prostaglandins are crucial for maintaining proper blood flow to the kidneys. You inhibit them, blood flow drops, and the kidney tissue starts to die from a lack of oxygen. That's acute kidney injury, or AKI.
So the amount they eat it's everything.
It's paramount. For a dog, anything over about 50 milligrams per kilogram of body weight can cause those GI signs.
Wow.
Get above, say, 175, and you're in the kidney failure zone. But for cats, For cats, any dose is considered toxic. There is zero safe dose of ibuprofen for a cat. Any exposure needs immediate, aggressive veterinary care.
That is such a critical distinction. Zero tolerance in cats. Okay, let's switch to another common one, acetaminophen or paracetamol. This one is the absolute nightmare for felines. Why?
This is the textbook case of a species-specific metabolic failure. Cats just profoundly lack the main enzyme needed to process this drug safely. So instead of going down the safe path, their body shunts the drug down a toxic detour through something called the cytochrome P450 pathway.
And this detour creates the real poison.
It creates a chemical weapon called NAPQI. And this NAPQI causes massive oxidative stress, and it has a special affinity for feline hemoglobin.
So it attacks the red blood cells.
It essentially rusts the iron in their blood cells from the inside out. The cell becomes something called methemoglobin, which can't carry oxygen. The signs are incredibly fast and dramatic. Their gums turn this awful, muddy brown color.
A clear sign of oxygen deprivation.
Exactly. Whereas in dogs, acetaminophen tends to target the liver more directly, causing severe liver damage.
Okay, let's wrap this section with one more. Stimulants, like ADHD medications. The descriptions I've read call an ingestion a sympathetic storm. That sounds terrifying.
And it is. These drugs cause a massive release of fight-or-flight chemicals, like norepinephrine and dopamine. The nervous system is just flooded, so you see severe hyperactivity, tremors, seizures, a dangerously high heart rate, and it happens fast, sometimes within minutes.
And the real danger isn't just the seizure itself, it's what comes after.
It's the secondary damage. The constant muscle agitation generates an incredible amount of heat. Their body temperature can soar past 105 degrees Fahrenheit. We call it lethal hyperthermia.
Which just cooks the organs from the inside.
It does. It causes muscle breakdown, multi-organ failure. This is a true life-threatening emergency.
Okay, let's move from the medicine cabinet to the pantry. Human food is right up there on the list, and one ingredient is, well, it's everywhere now. Xylitol.
Xylitol is a huge one. It's in sugar-free gum, mints, baked goods, and critically in a lot of specialty peanut butters now.
Yeah.
And the problem is how dogs process it. Humans absorb it slowly. Dogs absorb incredibly fast and completely.
And that speed triggers, what did you call it? A pancreatic bomb?
That's what it is. The dog's pancreas sees this massive, rapid surge of what it thinks is sugar, and it freaks out. It dumps a gigantic dose-dependent amount of insulin into the bloodstream.
And insulin's job is to pull sugar out of the blood.
Exactly. So it pulls all the actual glucose out, causing a catastrophic drop in blood sugar. Profound hypoglycemia. The dog can start staggering, collapsing, or seizing within 30 minutes.
30 minutes, that's
Oh,
slow. There's no time to wait and see.
None. And that's not all. At higher doses, say 500 milligrams per kilogram, we also see acute liver failure. The liver cells just die. So you must check the label on that jar of peanut butter.
All right, next up. The great mystery of grapes and raisins. For decades, we knew they cause kidney failure in dogs, but no one knew why. What was the breakthrough?
It was a fantastic piece of detective work, really. Recent evidence has finally confirmed that toxic agents are tartaric acid and its salt, potassium bitartrate.
Which is just cream of tartar, something people bake with.
The very same. So it wasn't a pesticide or a fungus. It was an organic acid inherent to the fruit itself. And this explains why dogs are so sensitive.
Oh, so?
They seem to lack the specific transporters in their kidneys to get rid of tartaric acid efficiently, so it just builds up.
And what does that buildup do?
It accumulates directly in the kidney's tubular cells, and it kills them. It causes severe necrosis, which leads directly to the kidney shutting down, usually within 24 to 72 hours.
That's why decontamination, getting them to vomit right away, is so important.
It's everything.
Okay, let's quickly touch on the classic. Chocolate. Everyone knows chocolate is bad, but the difference between milk chocolate and baking chocolate can be life or death.
Right. The toxins are methylxanthines, specifically theobromine and caffeine. They work by blocking adenosine receptors in the body.
Adenosine being the body's natural brake pedal.
A perfect analogy. You block the brakes, and the whole system goes into overdrive. CNS stimulation, heart racing, muscle tremors, seizures.
And concentration is the key.
It is absolutely the key.
Yeah.
Baking chocolate can have almost 10 times the amount of theobromine as milk chocolate. So that small square of baker's chocolate is exponentially more dangerous than a milk chocolate candy bar for a small dog.
All right, let's move outside, or maybe just to the bouquet on the kitchen counter. We need to talk about true lilies and cats. And we should probably use an urgent tone here.
This is a 5-alarm fire for cat owners. True lilies, so we're talking about the Lilium and Hemerocallis species, are profoundly, exquisitely nephrotoxic to cats. They destroy the kidneys.
And the toxin is everywhere in the plant, right?
Every single part. The petals, the leaves, the pollens, and here's the part that people just can't believe. The water in the lily vase.
Wait, really? Just the water?
Yes. A cat takes a few lacs of water from that vase, or even just brushes against the flower and grooms the pollen off its fur. That can be enough for a lethal dose.
That is horrifying. What does the progression look like?
You'll see vomiting and lethargy in the first few hours. Then, and this is the insidious part, they might seem to get better for a little while.
A false sense of security.
Exactly. But internally, the kidney damage is progressing rapidly. Within 12 to 72 hours, the kidneys are shutting down. Without immediate aggressive 5E fluids and care, the prognosis is grave.
Okay. While dogs are mostly safe from lilies, they're not safe from the sago palm.
No. The sago palm contains a toxin called psychocin, which gets converted in the gut to a potent liver toxin. The seeds, or the nuts, have the highest concentration, and dogs just love to chew on them. The signs are violent GI, upset at first, then it progresses to liver failure, jaundice, bleeding problems. Even with the best treatment, the survival rate is only about 50%.
Let's pivot to a chemical. Ethylene glycol, antifreeze. It's sweet, so pets will drink it, and it launches a 3-phase attack on the body.
It's one of the deadliest things we see. Phase 1 in the first 30 minutes to 12 hours is the drunken phase. The pet just acts wobbly and off balance. An owner might easily miss it.
But while that's happening, the body is metabolizing it into something much worse for phase 3.
Precisely. The antifreeze gets broken down into oxalic acid. This oxalic acid then binds with calcium in the body to form sharp calcium oxalate crystals. These crystals physically shred and block the tiny tubules in the kidneys, causing complete, irreversible kidney failure.
Just brutal. And finally, let's briefly hit rodenticides. The key takeaway for owners is that mouse bait isn't just one thing.
You have to get the package. It's not optional. You have to know what the active ingredient is.
Why is that so critical?
Because if it's a common anticoagulant, the bleeding signs are delayed for days, and we have a direct antidote, vitamin K1. But if it's something like bromethalin,
Then what?
then you have rapid onset brain swelling, seizures, and there is no antidote. It's supportive care only. The color of the bait means nothing. Only the active ingredient on the label matters.
Okay, we've covered the why. Now, the what to do. You talk about the golden hour. What is that?
The golden hour is that critical first 60 minutes after your pet eats something toxic. During that window, decontamination, getting them to vomit, if it's appropriate, is most effective. The toxin hasn't been fully absorbed yet. Calling it minute 10 versus minute 90 can genuinely be the difference between life and death.
So immediate action is everything. Let's run through the emergency checklist. Step 1.
Safety first. Get your pet away from the source of the poison. Secure the area.
Okay. Step 2.
Contact professionals. This is the most important step. Call your vet or a poison control center immediately. Do not waste time on Google.
Let's give out those numbers.
Yes. The ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center is 888-426-4435. The Pet Poison Helpline is 855-764-7661. Save them in your phone right now.
And step 3.
Gather the evidence. Grab the packaging, the label, a piece of the plant. The toxicologist needs that information to calculate the dose and give the right advice.
Okay, and a huge warning here. You've mentioned this before, but let's be clear. Do not make your pet vomit at home on your own.
Never. Never, unless you are on the phone with a veterinary professional who is explicitly telling you to do it. If the substance was corrosive, like bleach, you can cause horrific burns on the way back up. And if the pet is already showing neurologic signs, you risk them inhaling the vomit, which can cause a fatal aspiration pneumonia.
Let's debunk a couple of quick myths. Essential oils in cats. What's the real danger?
So many people think the risk is from inhalation, from a diffuser. But the primary danger is actually from grooming. The tiny oil droplets land on the cat's fur. The cat, being a meticulous groomer, then ingests and absorbs the oil through its skin and mouth. And because they lack the liver enzymes to process many of them, it can cause liver failure.
Wow. So it's the grooming that poisons them. What about the old myth that garlic prevents fleas?
Dangerous and false. Garlic is in the same family as onions. It causes oxidative damage to red blood cells, leading to anemia. It's a poison, not a preventative.
And a quick one, a non-chemical danger that's just as deadly.
Mylar food bags, chip bags, snack bags. A dog sticks its head in to get the last crumbs. The bag forms a vacuum seal around their neck and they can't get it off. They suffocate. It's silent and fast. Cut up your bags before you throw them out.
Okay, let's end with some pro tips for prevention.
First, adopt the counter-surf test. Assume if your pet can reach it, they will. Store all meds, human and pet, in high closed cabinets. Second, during holidays, enforce high shelf holidays. Guests' purses and bags are full of hazards, ibuprofen, xylitol gum. Keep them up and away.
And the most important habit for the kitchen.
Read the peanut butter label. Always. Every time. Check for xylitol. That one simple act can save your dog's life.
This has been an incredibly dense but vital deep dive. We've talked about everything from the metabolic reason acetaminophen is a poison for cats to the discovery of tartaric acid in grapes.
It all comes down to empowering owners. If you understand the why, you can respond so much more effectively.
It really underscores that this is a dual commitment, right? It's about rapid response when an accident happens, but also constant education to prevent it in the first place. And as we look at the trends with new supplements and recreational drugs becoming more common, we have to realize that toxicological risk just follows human lifestyle trends. So my final thought for you is this. What new product, food, or supplement trend are you seeing now that you need to be proactively learning about to stay ahead of the next emerging threat to your pet? It requires a vigilance that really never ends.